This is a rather breezy Baja in Mexico. Adjoining the southern border of California, Baja stretches 1,000 miles from top to bottom, with the Pacific Ocean on the west coast and the Gulf of California and the Sea of Cortez on the east. Baja is an outdoor enthusiast's playground, especially if you're into outdoor adventure on wheels. I'm Michelle Garfield. Welcome to Baja, Mexico and the road to adventure. Today, we're going to be meeting a man who is one of the best and the most successful off-road racers in the world. His name, Ironman Stewart. And this is where he thrives, the Badlands of Baja. Ivan Stewart has been racing and winning every kind of off-road race in North America since 1974. He is arguably the greatest driver in the history of the sport.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
Haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, you're looking good.
You too.
Thank you. What is the attraction of Baja? I mean, why do you keep coming down?
Well, we're down pre-running right now, but I love Baja. I mean, I've been down here for 25 years. I got a tremendous amount of fans. I've had extremely good luck racing in Mexico. I just love the country. It's just beautiful.
Right. Don't you want to explain to our folks back home what pre-running is?
Well, basically, it's a matter of coming down, learning the roads before we actually race. In other words, we're going to have 500 miles of race or a 1,000-mile race, and the better you know the roads, and you practice so you know the danger spots, and just more competitive you can be. And it's great fun. I love it. Have you ever been pre-running?
You know what, I haven't.
You know, I've got an extra day. And if you guys would like to go down to the beach with me, your crew, I'll take your whole crew. We'll go down and spend a day down at the beach.
Yes.
Are there nice people? Genuinely?
Oh, yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle.
I want you to all meet somebody really special. Ivan Stewart. This is Sue Young.
Hi, Sue. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Hi, Ivan.
Hi,
Bob Whitney.
Bob Whitney. How are you?
Janice Lee.
Janice, how are you? Is it Janice?
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Ivan has kindly invited us to go on an off-road adventure with him. Are you guys keen to do that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how does like 10 o'clock tomorrow morning suit you?
10 o'clock's perfect.
Okay.
We're good.
It's an off-road adventure down to the beach here in Baja, Mexico with Ironman Stewart when the road to adventure begins right after this.
The conquistadors believed victory was the only acceptable outcome. They rode in white behind shields of armor. In 1999 AD, one returned to Baja with 600 horsemen at his side. Ivan Ironman Stewart, overlord of Baja.
Welcome back to Baja, Mexico. The next morning at the strike of 10, our group was revved up and ready to go.
And he's going to be teaching us, the novices, and he's the expert. How's that going to go?
And they had done their homework on Ivan Stewart.
So good. His advice is good. His tips are really good. It's a totally different experience to driving on the 405.
Here are three adults, all successful professionals, each of them possessed of a wonderful enthusiasm. This was going to be a fun day. Already on the beach, Ivan was doing one of the things that he does best, and that was making friends and signing autographs.
Now, where are we going to be going, do you know?
Well, we're heading down to the beach.
Okay.
And,
Well, that's good. At least
Here
we
he
have a-
is, our guiding light.
Our young friend got an autograph, but we were getting to spend the day with Ivan Stewart.
Hey, Ivan. I brought everybody round.
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. Good morning, you guys. How you doing?
How are you?
Ready to go?
Yep.
Take a trip to the beach. I got a great road plan. Got some real adventure today.
Great.
And we're all going to drive individual vehicles. Okay?
Wait, I thought you were riding with you.
No.
Wait, we're
gonna,
driving?
I got some great
You're going to
vehicles.
be fine.
Some great vehicles. No. It's going to be easy. It's going to be easy. I was just going over my my parts list. What I typically bring to Baja is my what I call my Baja bag with my tools and some nuts and bolts. I can take a tow rope, some water, obviously, oil. Real important when you put your oil and all these things in a bag that it doesn't leak. Nothing worse than having this stuff leak all over your car. Brake fluid, power steering fluid, air pressure gauge. We're going to go down in the sand today and have some fun. In fact, we're going to have a lot of different different types of roads that we're going to go on, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to use this later on. Flashlight in case it gets dark. But yeah, we've got vehicles that you guys are going to be able to drive. Sue, what do you typically drive at home?
I just drive a sedan.
Well, how would you like to drive a nice big Land Cruiser? Very comfortable.
Safe
a lot of fun.
vehicle.
Very safe.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and it'll be fun. They're good roads, so you'll have a lot of fun. Bob, what do you drive at home?
Well, you know, I've actually got an old Land Cruiser, but like most people in Southern California, it never gets out of two-wheel drive, so.
Okay, well, how would you like to drive a nice little RAV4, real quick and agile, fun to drive?
Great.
Janice, what do you drive?
I have a Southern Cal SUV also that doesn't go off-road.
It doesn't go off-road?
Yeah, no.
Well,
It's pretty, no scratches.
I've got one that we're going to take off-road. You're going to love it because
Great.
it's going to be a lot of fun. And Michelle, if you'll help me get things packed away, we'll come back and double-check your seat belts and adjust the steering wheel the way you like it, you know? And we'll go.
Okay, we're just going to the beach, right?
We're just going to the beach. We're going to go to the beach, beautiful drive, and then we'll come back here and have a nice barbecue tonight.
And no speeding because he's the racing guy and we're not, so...
Yeah. No racing, no speeding. We're going to have a nice, fun, nice drive today. It'll be a lot of fun.
Great.
Okay.
Okay? Jump in your car. Well, how's it going, Sue?
Getting
You're all-
adjusted here.
All buckled up.
Yep.
You know, this has got an electric seat, so you can move this up and down, back
Okay.
and forth. And the steering will adjust here with this little knob, so you can
Okay.
get that what you
I
like.
think I'm good.
Okay, we've already checked the fluids.
Good.
Okay, get your radio.
Thank you.
It's
Oh,
already on
good.
channel 1.
Okay.
Okay, good to go.
So I'm in contact with you, right?
You betcha, we can talk to you all the time.
All right. I'm in your hands, Ivan.
Okay, you have fun. How's it going, Janice?
Great.
You're all
Comfortable?
adjusted?
Let's
Okay,
go.
I don't want you to remember now, we're not racing. Okay, we're just cruising down to the beach. We're not even going to use the R word today, okay?
Okay,
All right,
we'll
all
keep it
buddy.
safe.
Where'd it go? Okay.
Thanks.
Ivan and I climbed into his new Toyota Tundra, and
Ready to
we
go?
were off. As we drove away from the safety and comfort of our hotel, I couldn't help wondering what would lie in store for each of us on the road to adventure. We'll be back.
Everybody take your seats. Okay, class, let's try some basic phrases.
Hi, welcome back. You're with the Road to Adventure and we're here in beautiful Baja, Mexico. We're on our way down to the beach on an off-road expedition, and guiding the team is racing driver extraordinaire Ivan Ironman Stewart. We've got all our friends behind us in SUVs and trucks. We've got Sue, we've got Bob, and we've got Janice.
Along with our special friends photographing our adventure for you.
Now, the thing is, none of us have a lot of off-road driving experience.
So, along the way, we're going to learn some skills that'll make us better drivers on and off-road.
I've got to be honest, driving in one of these trucks is so comfortable and so luxurious, it's like being in a regular car.
Isn't it amazing? The technology and the sports utility vehicles and the trucks has come so far that we can get this kind of a ride quality and a beautiful dashboard, cruise control, all the amenities, and still have a rugged, tough truck that a guy feels very masculine in to drive. It's great.
Ivan, what do we need to know about the handling of trucks and sport utility vehicles on streets and highways?
Well, one of the things you have to realize is the fact that because it is an SUV or a pickup is four-wheel drive, it sits higher off the ground. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge in the fact that it's got a higher center of gravity. So on the highway or even off-road, you have to be aware that it's not going to corner like a sports car.
Ivan, we've moved off the main road and we're now on gravel. Any tips?
Well, probably the most important thing is realizing that the surface is going to be a little bit looser, that the truck could slide or the SUV could slide, a little bit harder to brake possibly. Just being aware that, you know, the conditions are going to be something you have to be very practiced in, that if you want to stop quick or make an abrupt turn, it's not going to happen. It's going to be a little bit more difficult and take more time. So you have to possibly look farther ahead down the road. And again, keep the speeds down.
Ivan, what about right of way?
Probably the most important thing is to remember not to get yourself in a situation where you can't see oncoming traffic, but being aware that over a rise or around the corner that somebody could be coming the other way. You know, if you're going to go over a rise, bear to the right. If you're going to go around the corner, make sure you stay to the right, because somebody could be coming the other way.
Now, when it comes to taking a corner, what would you say is a good speed to take it at?
Well, it's just slow enough to make the corner. I mean, ever want to get yourself in a situation where possibly the truck is sliding around the corner. If you're going fast enough to slide or you feel the back of the truck getting out behind, sliding to one side, you're going too fast. So basically, slow, fun, easy, not racing. We're not going to be racing at all, so it's going to be a matter of oops, we got a problem.
Here was someone who'd played way too long in the Baja sun. When you spin your wheels, this is what happens. Even the best vehicles can't save a driver who doesn't understand the basic skills required for successful off-road driving.
Do you think we should help him?
The Ironman was about to show us that he really knows his business.
Little problem, huh?
Yeah, I'll say.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm Ivan Stewart.
Hi, Ivan. Nice to meet you.
I'm Michelle Garforth.
Hi,
And
Michelle.
this
Nice to
stuck
meet you.
driver was Eric Coolbar.
You let any tire pressure down before you come out of the
No,
sand?
it's just as I've been driving it all day, full pressure.
I think what we might be able to do is let some tire pressure down, let it down to about 15 pounds, and I bet you can drive out
Take
of
some
here.
air out and it'll drive right out.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. You got something to...
Yeah, I can probably.
I have my little handy dandy, tiny little deal there, and I'll see if I can get my knife. Yeah, here you go. This is my official Baja knife, just for this purpose. I've got a tire pressure gauge, and we'll check the
Push it
down about 15.
Okay.
Ivan, why do you do that? What does that do for the?
Well,
for the
basically,
tire?
what that does, Sue, is it makes the tire have a bigger footprint. So instead of digging down as this tire did, it allows it to float. You've heard of flotation tires? And it allows you to float on top of the sand. You know, if we get the tire pressure down, it'll actually should drive right out and be able to float on top of the sand. That's, if you've heard that term, it's kind of like planing in a boat. It'll get up on top of the sand, but you need that big footprint, and that's what we'll get here. You know, I'll tell you something funny. We did some tests not long ago in the desert in Dumont Dunes, and the front tire pressure has a lot to do with how well a vehicle goes through the sand. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I would think it's just the rear tires.
No, it's amazing that the front tire pressure has a lot to do with how well you don't push a wave of sand in front of the tire.
Eric, where were you going?
I was just playing in the sand, and all of a sudden I got stuck.
Really? Yeah. Well, we're going to the beach. Do you want to join us?
I would. I'm glad you guys came by.
Why don't you guys go ahead and back up. Eric, let's jump in and we'll see if this thing will come out. Hopefully it'll just drive right out, okay?
Woo!
Good job, good job.
Eric!
Good job, good job.
Since you're coming with us to the beach, we want you to have one of our shirts.
Oh, well, thank you, guys.
We've made a new friend, and when we come back, the road to adventure gets wet and muddy. Welcome back. You're on the road to adventure. I'm Michelle Garforth, and we're here in Baja, Mexico. We're on an off-road adventure down to the beach with Ivan Ironman Stewart. Right now, we're passing through the small, quaint village of Erendira. And there go our crew right now. Hey, wait up, guys. Gotta run. Leaving the village, we picked up speed and headed into Baja's farm country. Up ahead was a small pool of water in the road. It didn't look like much to me, but Ivan had some important insights about crossing puddles, ponds, or water of any kind.
Okay, Michelle, before we cross the water, we need to get everybody together. We need to do a little talk on water crossing and why we don't just blast through the water, okay?
Right.
Okay, one of the reasons being, if we blast through the water, it may be deeper than we think. How do we know how deep it is? Anyway, what would you think?
Well, I would guess that the right side is more shallow.
Yeah, and it is. And the reason we stay to the right or hug the bank typically is because the water, if it runs off the hill, will wash out the left-hand side or the low side, and there could be a big hole underneath there. The other is we wouldn't want to blast through. There could be rocks in there, right? Stumps, that type of thing, right? How about when we go through the other side? Anything, once we get on the other side, anything to think about? How about our brakes being wet, right? They won't stop very well. What else, Michelle?
I'm not 100% sure what else. I think you got it covered pretty much.
The thing is also that since we've been coming down the road, we've had some vehicles that have passed us, and we know that they've gone on through here and they're not stuck, so we typically know pretty well that it's not going to be that deep. But we still need to know not to hit at a speed. We get water in the intake. We'd want to do that. That could ruin the motor and ruin your day, right? Make sure we do not stumps in there, so we want to go through slow. Don't want to fall on the left-hand side. Basically it. Slow, easy, okay?
If you're coming through the other way, would you weave around to the other?
Good question. If we're coming the other way, stay up against the left-hand side of the bank side is typically a rule of thumb. But we could even, if we wasn't sure, you definitely want the four-wheel drive to go through first. So if he got on the other side, that he could pull you out, right? If the two-wheel drive didn't make it, you might want to take a stick and walk out and you know, stick it out there, make sure there's not a big hole. But since we're pretty sure that it's not very deep, we can go ahead and go across. We might find a deeper one later, but I think we're going to be okay, all right?
Yeah.
Any other questions? What else?
Well, I'm just pleased to say that we don't have to swim and get wet at this water hole. It can happen at the next
It's
one.
the next one we're going to take a little swim.
Okay.
We're going to wait for cleaner water. All right, Michelle, I've been driving all day now. I'm going to, if you think you can handle it, I'm going to let you drive the truck across. I'll walk to the other side and guide you, and you can drive across. Can you handle it?
Sounds good. I think I can handle it.
Okay, now I don't want to get my boots real muddy now, but I'm going to go the other side.
Well, you know what? He is wearing the most amazing cowboy boots. Let's see how he makes it through that mud without a 4x4.
All right, not too fast.
Okay, it's gonna come.
Easy ahead. Perfect. Good job. Excellent. Good job, Michelle.
One by one, our group drove across, a little wiser about water crossings.
Perfect. No water over the head?
After passing over the water hole,
job.
Janice had some questions about driving in mud.
Good job. Typically driving, we don't get that much mud that we race in, but you got to really be aware that it can be really slick, easy to slide off the road, easy to get stuck. You need a different tire, a skinny tire. You kind of stay away from it. That makes sense? Unless you got a lot of experience.
The dusty road stretched out for miles in front of us, and the country was beautiful. Next, we encountered another water hazard, often faced by off-road drivers.
Michelle, the most important thing in an area like this where water is actually running across the river, you want to make sure that it's not so deep that it could actually wash you downstream.
Also relating to water, Bob and Ivan spoke about why drivers sometimes get stuck in rising water.
The vehicles are getting so well built that they don't leak water, right? So whenever you close the doors and you roll the windows up, it doesn't take much water to make the vehicle buoyant, so it just starts to float. Right. So if you had water coming in, if you had both that door open and this door open, and the water ran through, it would never float.
Right.
After passing through the water and the dusty flatland of Baja, Ivan wanted to check in with some of his old friends at the El Palomar Hotel in Santo Tomas. The El Palomar Hotel is a popular haunt for off-road racers, and tributes to the sport are plentiful.
Baja 500 programs and all.
Nothing like seeing your personal history preserved by fans who love you.
Fun stuff. 26, 27 years ago.
And what happened outside this restaurant when you started a race here?
25 years ago, there was so little traffic that they shut the streets down. So if you were coming down the road 25 years ago, you had to wait for the race to start.
I'll try to kick back a little.
Back on the dusty streets of Santo Tomas, our group prepares for a climb into the mountains that'll take us over beautiful terrain to Ivan's Beach, when the road to adventure continues right after this. Welcome back. We're on the road to adventure with Ivan Stewart in Baja, Mexico. This is a land of contrast. We're going places we've never been before, experiencing some of the ruggedly beautiful country Ivan has loved for over 25 years.
How am I doing, Ivan?
You're doing great.
What do you think we're going to learn about the vehicle and about its ability to go off-road?
We're going to be climbing some hills. You'll see the abilities of the vehicle to climb. So we'll learn all this.
Okay.
Just from doing it alone, you'll learn.
I'm going to have to learn because I'm starting at ground zero. So.
Yeah, that's fine. Seatbelt on, Eric.
Going to
Headlights.
Headlights?
All right, ready to go.
Ready to go.
Headlights on. We got some beautiful scenery. We're going to go up a steep little hill. Watch the big rocks.
All right.
Ready to go? Seatbelts?
Yep.
Headlights on?
Headlights on.
Sue, you ready?
Ready to go.
All right. No sliding around. No.
Okay.
All right, headlights on, you guys.
This is the spot where 27 years ago, Ivan partook in his very first race. It was the Santo Tomas 300. Ivan, what is it like being here in the same place again?
Well, it's really special in my heart in that so many years and so many miles have passed and so many things have happened, and to realize this is where it all started is really special. And to come back and do the same little road again with a great group of friends, really looking forward to it.
Well, let's take a ride down memory lane then.
Let's go. Here we go. I don't think anything's changed.
This very spot in Santo Tomas was the starting point for Ivan's victorious Baja 1000 race in 1998.
You know, I tell you what really has changed, Bob, is the fact that the ride quality and the vehicles that we drive today are so much better than they were 25 years ago. But that's technology. You know, over the years, technology has come a long way in vehicles. Sue, how are you doing?
So far, so good, Ivan. I'm trying to stay out of your dust.
She doesn't want to eat dust.
I'm not going to eat your dust today.
Tell me about some of the hazards that we're possibly going to be encountering.
Well, the one thing you have to always be aware of is the fact that somebody could easily be coming the other direction. So if we're in a situation we're coming over a rise like we're coming to now or around a corner, that there could be other people vacationing out here or motorbikes. That's why I always like to keep my lights on and always stay way to the right.
Suddenly, the road got very bumpy. This is kind of a washboard type road. How do we handle it?
The best thing to do is to let the tire pressure down, Michelle, and that takes a lot of the hammering out of the impact back that goes back into the chassis of the car. And you can feel it a lot of times on the dashboard even. Sue, how are you doing?
I can see why they call it a washboard. I feel like we're vibrating.
So we stopped, allowing Ivan to smooth out the ride.
Well, since the tires feel like they're a little bit hard, let's let some tire pressure down. In fact, I'm gonna let you do it.
Oh, good.
You need a little tool, something like this. We get down here. This is the valve stem. And basically what we're gonna do, or you're gonna do, is take a few minutes and push this little thing in the center. Just push that in. And we're gonna let the tire pressure down. And then we'll take a tire pressure gauge and we'll let it down to about 15 pounds. And then we'll get a much better quality ride. Okay?
Sounds good.
So there you go.
Okay.
We just want to make sure that we don't get too low,
Right.
but yet we want to get that nice ride quality.
Can I ask you, if we were to let the tire pressure down to this degree, does that mean that the wear and tear on the tires is going to be a problem?
No, the only time we'd really have to worry about that, Michelle, is if we got back on the highway where we started generating heat in the tires. But for these kind of roads, we can let them down to 15 pounds and not bother a thing. We get a lot better traction in the sand and then a much better ride. More than anything, it's probably the ride quality.
Okay.
We've let the tire pressure down in the tundra, so the ride quality is better. But once you get into the washboard roads like this, just letting the tire pressure down and feeling a nice, comfortable pace that you can run, about like we're doing now. So we're basically in control and not letting the vehicle get into what we call a chatter position where it's starting to lose control or get sideways, and that will happen with a washboard type of road.
Absolutely. Now, we're going at about 20 miles per hour. What speed would you normally be doing this if you were racing?
Well, racing conditions on this same road, the race truck would run about 70 or 80 miles an hour through here.
We'll be back.
I was given two hearts. One beats within me. The other, a merciless piece of metal and fire that lurks beneath the hood. Which should I follow? Ivan Ironman Stewart, overlord of Baja.
Welcome back. When running over uneven rocky ground, it's important to know where your tires are
Okay, guys,
every minute.
Little demonstration time. I want to show you the importance of knowing exactly where your tire is in relationship to the road and the rocks. This rock, for example, if it were in the road, and you're going to have a lot of rocks in the road, you don't want to hit it with the sidewall. This sharp edge on the rock can actually cut the sidewall. This is what they call the sidewall of the tire. You want to miss it, right? If you can't miss it, try and hit it at slow speeds with the center part of the tire. This is called the face of the tire here, and that's the strongest part of the tire. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a little test where I want to see how good you guys are getting at placing the tire as close to the rock as you can without hitting it. Okay, Michelle, as a test, what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the rock and put it in the road, and ask each one of our drivers to drive forward, and we'll see how close they can come with their left front tire to this rock without hitting it.
Let's see how the kids do. Come, guys.
Come on, you guys.
Did I miss it? Did I miss it?
That's what you think it is?
I don't know.
In park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, see?
But that's okay.
That's
But
what I
see,
did back
you're
there.
short. Here's the thing, you're short, and it's a big car. But now you know that was a little bit farther and off to your left. But that's okay, and that's what you'll learn, though. That's the most important
Okay.
thing. That's the games you play.
Okay, thank you.
Bob, Janice, and Eric all took their turns. They each used
Excellent.
a special look-out-the-window technique. Not exactly Ivan's
Don't hit the
method,
rock.
but none of them
Keep
hit
coming
the
forward.
rock.
Good. Good job. You didn't say we couldn't do that.
Like that?
Perfect.
There we go.
Perfect. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Slam dunk.
From dusty flatlands and now up into the rolling hills, Baja is beautiful country. Ivan was enjoying the view as much as we were. I was surprised when he actually let me take the wheel of his new Tundra. I don't know who was more nervous, Ivan or me.
I love these hills, these rolling hills. They kind of go on forever and you can almost get lost in them.
You really can. You really get. You really also have to watch where you go.
Do they do a lot of farming down here? I mean, with the cattle and...
Yes, actually, more and more as time progresses.
So we've got a couple of cows here.
Hold it, Michelle.
Oh.
Hold it. We have a problem here. We really have to watch for it.
Right, so you've actually got to watch the road, right, not the mountains.
This is a cattle guard that could be. Yeah, see, this is this could really damage a tire. In fact, you could probably get a flat here and damage the front end of your car. So what would you say would be the best way to
get over this?
Yeah, how would you do this? If I wasn't here, how would you do this?
I would move all these things and I would, well, you know what I'd probably do? I'd probably take stones and I'd create a bit of a platform in between the railings and then I'd go over. One for each tire.
How about if we just move the stones and put one tire here on this concrete piece here? And then head right on through. You think we should try it?
Yeah.
I think you should try it. I'll guide you. How's that?
Okay.
I'll guide you guys. Okay, so we'll guide you.
Okie dokie. So basically we're aiming for the left tire to be on this.
Yeah, and I'm going to guide you, right on that one.
Okay.
If we go on that one, we should be just perfectly fine.
Sounds good.
Just watch me.
Here we go.
Perfect, perfect. Denise, straight ahead.
Piece of cake.
It easy does it. Perfect. Like that, right? Perfect. Good job. Excellent. Piece of cake. Excellent. Perfect. Good. Excellent. Good. Good job, huh? Got them all across. Follow directions. No problems. No flats. Nobody tore a wheel off. We're going down to the beach. Looks good.
The road to adventure gets personal as we get up close with Ivan Stewart right after this. After a beautiful drive into the Baja Mountains, we stopped at the side of the road for a snack and a chat. We've got chicken sandwiches, we've got cold sodas, out here in the middle of nowhere.
I was scared to death. I almost backed out of this whole thing. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
First thing this morning, I thought she might.
And if we're feeling that it's moving a little fast for us, what we do is...
Yeah, we have radios, and if you feel like you're moving too fast, let me know. If you go a little faster than what you want to go.
I was so scared because it was just something I hadn't tried before. And after doing it and learning, I mean, I'm actually listening to what you're saying, watching out for the rocks, realizing this is something you can do.
Sure.
Which I feels really good. I don't know about you guys, but not having ever done this before, it makes me feel really good now. I'm not necessarily as terrified about the rest of the day. I hope that's still okay.
How many trips is this for you to Baja?
I think I counted in my head the other day like 250 different trips I've made over here in the last 25 years coming to Mexico to race.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many people, I think, that have a sports utility vehicle and typically don't use them. And I think the fact that they're very strong, they're very durable, and the fun you can have with them, you know, I encourage the people to come to Baja and see the great roads, the people, the community, the little towns, the beaches. I mean, it doesn't necessarily abuse the vehicle like a lot of people think.
anywhere you live, there's probably a place where you can go have fun off-road. You don't need to drive all the way down to Mexico.
No,
especially if you live in New York.
Anza-Borrego, yeah.
You know? Certainly beats that, to be able to just get away and cut loose. And we've got the best instructor in the world teaching us how to drive and be able to get to places like this that most people probably don't go to. I'll see if I can go through. There we go. See, now that's fun. That's kind of why you do it, really.
Yeah, for the adventure and the thrill of doing it. Sure. It's like you come back, drink the water, breathe the dust.
There you go. That's an adventure in itself.
Well, I think probably one of the unique things is the fact that, for me anyways, I get the chance to come down with friends and do this in a relaxed atmosphere and enjoy the scenery. This is the time of year that I typically don't get a chance to come down. And it's green. I mean, a lot greener than probably you would anticipate.
Probably don't see much of it going 80 miles an hour, do you?
No, usually I'm in a big hurry, so it's nice to be able to stop and, you know, just enjoy the Baja, you know?
Well, and then the thing about it is it's nice coming down here with you because I would have never taken this road. I was looking forward to it. I mean, the minute I was asked to do it, it was great. So Ivan Stewart, yeah, he's going to take me off. I mean, I can go and do it, and I'll do it right. This is awesome to be actually driving and doing it, and feeling the road, feeling the car. Had I not been with Ivan, I probably would have never taken the road. But now that I've been off with him and he's showed me the groundwork for it, I would definitely go for it.
I guess what I love about today is the fact that we can actually climb into vehicles and we can go into territory that we normally wouldn't be able to go into, you know, thanks to having the kind of vehicle that can get you there. And we're able to experience all this around us. Big sky, big country. I mean, what more could anybody want?
Check, check. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Is there anything that's making you nervous, Bob?
No, not really. Although this seems like a long road to the beach. Yeah, imagine people don't get out here very often. You get stuck in the rut of being in the office all day long, and you forget that this even exists. It's breathtaking. It's beautiful.
So this is relatively mild off-road part of the course to get down to the beach, but as you've done this and you build the confidence and you realize how to use the vehicle, you go to the next one. Just like you're saying, we did that one, let's go to the next.
Driving on our own was great, but what we really wanted to see was Ivan do what Ivan does best. During one of our rest stops in the afternoon, with a little encouragement, Ivan put the pedal to the metal.
It's a race like this all day long. And all night. See how steep it is here. Right on.
Even with all the speed, the bumps, and the noise from the Tundra's powerful V8, we all felt perfectly safe because Ivan was behind the wheel.
You fun all day and all night? You drive every bit that hard.
For just a moment, we all felt like racers.
That was 30 seconds of what he does all day and all night.
Yeah, it's
He's all
cruising
relaxed,
for him.
right?
It's like traffic.
Right, he's
you know?
all relaxed.
Hand shaking. This is the camera hand. So you can imagine what that was like.
It was totally awesome. It felt like we were on this roller coaster, but Ivan just had it all under control.
There's not a roller coaster made by man that equals that.
That is insane.
It was amazing.
He's the man. He's Ivan. What else could you say?
Four-wheel drive, we can feel how well it accelerates.
This is Laura.
Morning had turned to late afternoon. We were moving ever closer to the coast and Ivan's Beach. Baja was gorgeous and we were loving it.
How far out in front of his truck is he focusing his eyes?
Actually, if you just kind of sweep, Eric, in other words, depending on how fast you're going, but always looking ahead, the rocks that are ahead of us here, watching possibly for some that could hit the differential, where you want to place the wheels, where you definitely don't want to place them, off to the right, obviously. But just kind of sweeping.
Now we're going down a very steep downhill. Anything that we need to remember?
Just basically slow and easy. You wouldn't want to come down here at speeds, overheat the brakes possibly, or more than anything, now that gravity's helping us go down, the weight of the vehicles, you wouldn't want to get in a situation where you were going so fast that you slid off the road. Just one wheel off the side here and down a little gully could actually do a lot of damage to the vehicle. So slow and easy. Again, patience, no hurry, enjoy the scenery.
Well, you certainly get the feeling that we really are in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, don't you? Absolutely.
We could feel the cool ocean breeze as we moved along the bluffs above the rocks. The view was spectacular.
Well, I had to stop and take a picture because I really think this is the kind of view you can't get anywhere else. You don't get this from just going to your typical tourist location where there's a beach. This is amazing.
And you can look for miles and see the most beautiful, spectacular view you've ever seen with no houses. There's nobody around, and I mean, that's really the unique part of a world where you can actually have that kind of view and nobody else around.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, this is pretty hard to beat.
With a final slope downward, we arrived at Ivan's Beach.
So should we say thank you to Ivan?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Everybody ready for shrimp?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're starving. Okay, so we came here to do what? We came here to
Drink the water and breathe the dead.
And breathe the dust and eat the shrimp.
God.
So we're going to have a great shrimp dinner. We already got it planned at the Stewart Beach Hotel.
Okay.
If you like shrimp. Everybody like shrimp?
Oh, yeah.
World's best.
Who's making
Right.
shrimp?
Well, I'm going to cook it. A little bit. I'm going to eat it. How's that?
There you go. Cool.
Ready?
Take it on the way down.
Okay, so let's
Are we
do
ready?
yeah, margaritas and
Watch out,
shrimp.
watch out.
Let's go.
And real
After a few minutes of celebration, we were behind the wheel again, heading for home.
Wow, this is unbelievable. The scenery is just worth being here.
I told you it was going to be a beautiful spot.
Ivan, how do you think the group have done?
Well, actually, I think they've done extremely well. The only other thing they can do now is just practice, I think, Michelle. They're doing very, very well.
What more is there for us to learn?
Well, I don't think there's much. We've hit all the different types of terrain. You know, just about everything that you would have on a typical off-road excursion. Practice, practice, practice. Being smooth, I think, is probably most important.
The conquistadors believed victory was the only acceptable outcome. They rode in white behind shields of armor. In 1999 AD, one returned to Baja with 600 horsemen at his side. Ivan Ironman Stewart, overlord of Baja.
I'm telling you, look at the sunset. You talk about a sunset.
As we drove into our hotel back in Ensenada, the sun was just setting on the horizon of the Pacific Ocean.
Mario's got the barbecue on. And we
Just as Ivan promised, a real feast was waiting, and the shrimp was on the grill. A tasty end to a memorable day.
You bet you got a special sauce. Get that camera out. Clear it. Enough talk about pound. I know it.
Pretty spicy.
Is it really?
It's not as spicy as you're driving, but it's still very spicy.
There's a big
Ivan, we had a fantastic day.
We really did. I had a great time. Our drivers and friends did a super job driving. Fantastic.
Absolutely. We had Janice with us.
Move over, here I come.
That's right.
In the forerunner.
We had Sue with us. She did a great job.
He's out there driving these rugged roads and does it with such ease that it puts you at ease.
We had Bob, who was great fun and laughs the whole way.
This is kind of an adrenaline rush and a way to relieve a little tension.
And of course, Eric, who we found in the sand.
These vehicles can get you to these places that you never would go to. And when you arrive, you see these scenes and landscapes that just take your breath away, that you would never see sitting behind your desk.
On behalf of myself, as well as the folks out there, we just would like to wish you all the best and all the luck for the Baja 1000.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. That's in November, as you know, and I feel very confident. I think we're going to have a great race. Always look forward to that race. Thank you.
All the best, all the best. Folks, that is a whole other story, believe you me, and we will be right here in Baja, Mexico, covering that story for you. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. So from me, Michelle Garfield, and Ivan Stewart, down here in Baja, Mexico, you've been on the road to adventure.